using notebook LM to improve the pronunciation in Vietnam. In Vietnamese, when I use the content that I need, now I focus on what to study, not how to study. So, and I usually use the contents from Google document before I talk about how to study on YouTube using Zoom and voice typing. And now I use text because I focus on what to study now. When I share with the project of Notebook LM with the Google document, and Google Document creates the project and mind map, audio review, and video review as well. So using mind map is very simple way to improve because just in 10 seconds, mind map created immediately. So and then after creating the mind map, I can review mind map by reading rather than sentence. The mind map usually shortly phrases about the concept, the topic. So, and then that is also reviewing about the contents uh, by improving the pronunciation. When I review the mind map and then I read the mind map step by step, if possible, I try to explain about the contents in Vietnamese. Then after reviewing, and then I can upload the contents on my YouTube channel. Then I check out um, my pronunciation by reading subtitle of YouTube video. Then I figure out about 20, 30% the pronunciation is correct. Uh, I realize that, and the six tones are most important here when I uh, pronounce Vietnamese, and then rather than pronounce the six tones, clearly try to say the six tones each syllable, and then that means it's much more clear then because if I don't care about six tones, even I think I know the word, I can pronounce the word, but in the end, my habit to pronounce syllable of words, phrases, and sentences in Vietnamese, then and not so successful. And also the habit of speaking in Vietnamese and not the same. That is a problem. So now my level in pronunciation is from beginner to yes, uh, aware of listening and aware of my pronunciation. Uh, since I've been learning about 2 years, since I'm learning Vietnamese about 2 years, then and now it's time to focus on communicate and by listening a lot and then speak in good pronunciation. I've been effort to speak with using voice typing on Google Document or Yellow from voice message to text message. And then these practice is useful. Nowadays, I focus on what to study, not how to study. And then by using the Google documents with the good contents from grammar or the other contents, and then I immediately create mind map in Vietnamese. Then and I can review the mind map by reading phrases mostly, and not only reviewing the contents but also improving pronunciation. And checking out the pronunciation is very important because even though I talk and practice speaking in Vietnamese, and then if I cannot figure out how I speak in Vietnamese, it's not easy to improve uh, Vietnamese pronunciation. And the one most important thing is the pronunciation is itself not it's important, but the most important thing is about the six tones in Vietnamese because the most important thing is six tones because when I say clearly with the six tones, and then the much better than the pronunciation recognized, but only using pronunciation without awareing, knowing about without knowing about the six tones, don't read or don't speak clearly about the six tones, then the words differently pronounced. So it's not my intention. That is very important here. So, and then focus on six tones. Most important thing is when I listen or I need to catch up here. Okay, so now um, I can share what I'm talking. Now, these are my content that I talk about how to use my map to improve pronunciation in English in Vietnamese. And then I can copy it and then I go for AI and then I can create the contents from my contents. That's the bare contents in English. My content of how to improve Vietnamese pronunciation by using my map of notebook LM. I focus on what to study rather than how to study. Then I can realize uh, I focus on six tones in Vietnamese to improve the pronunciation. It's much more important than the focusing on how to say just in pronunciation. After proofreading it, mm, then I can add the contents from what I talk here. Then I can get how to improve dynamic pronunciation using my Mac and it can be and contents with the nice. I can get a translate into Korean and Vietnamese about because it'll take time. That's just a mistake. Take it both on to okay. On the line. So I can get a copy. I can do Vietnamese pronunciation. Let's get back to here. Even when I speak English and also contains my pronunciation not perfect. How to improve Vietnamese pronunciation using my language together. Recently, I've been focusing on what to study rather than how to study. When it comes to improving my Vietnamese pronunciation, I've realized that the most important thing is mastering the six tones, not just focusing on how to say the words. From how to study and to what to study. Before, I mainly thought about how to study using tools like Google Doc, voice typing, and YouTube. But now I use those same tools differently. I focus on the them. I'm learning not just the method. I collect the content from Google Doc and organize it into project and then create my map on my notebook. The process connects multiple elements, text, audio review, and video review into one system. Um, these also know how to study using and how to improve pronunciation by using notebook with mind map. Anyway, using mind maps to improve pronunciation, creating a mind map only to program is simple. It only takes about 10 seconds to generate. Once the map is created, I can review it immediately by reading it aloud in Vietnamese. My map is made of short phrase or keywords, not full sentence. That's a big advantage. It helps me focus on concept and pronunciation, not the grammar or long sentence structure. When I review my map, I read each branch aloud step by step, try to explain the content in my own words, and upload the review to my YouTube channel. Then by reading the subtitles for my YouTube videos, I can check my pronunciation accuracy. I found that about 20 to 30% of my words are pronounced correctly, which means that there is still room for growth. The importance of the six tones. Through this process, I discovered that the six tones of Vietnamese are the key to clear pronunciation. Even if I know a word, if I ignore the tone, the meaning completely changes. When I speak with a clear and accurate tone, every syllable becomes easier to understand. But when I neglect tones, even familiar words sound wrong and communication fails. So now I always remind myself that don't just pronounce the word and pronounce its tones. Awareness and habit in pronunciation. I've been learning Vietnamese for about 2 years, and my pronunciation level is between beginner and intermediate. Now I can hear my mistakes more clearly, which helps me improve. I continue practicing using and then good Google voice typing, voice text with YouTube, recording with the subtitle, and notebook RM mind map reviews. These tools let me both and study content and listen to my own speech, combining learning and the self-collection. Conclusion. Improving Vietnam pronunciation is not just about repeating sound, it's about understanding and applying the six tones collectively. By using my map review in Vietnamese, I can review content quickly, practice and speaking naturally, check my pronunciation through the subtitle, develop a better speaking habit. The six tones are the foundation of clear Vietnamese pronunciation, and my map review is the best way to train them. Okay.